Andy.
Renee.
Same.
She got passed to.
I'll move on to the table.
It's all over. Amazing.
Yeah.
So nice to get out of cold weather for a few days. Came right back, right, still that whole weekend.
I know, yeah, I know.
Made it a little bearable, like, you were, you
Okay.
could ride the hall.
Yeah.
It is in there. Let's see it now.
2 days.
Very good.
Yes, students? Yeah.
Mhm.
I had to go
Oh, Jacob, how are you?
bus Sunday through Wednesdays, my son and my parents.
Room is unmuted. Cat TV is here.
Okay, very good. Well, then we'll take it away. Good evening, everyone. This is March 2nd, 2026. We're at our annual floor meeting of the Mount Anthony Union Board. I will offer my apologies. I think it's a fine demonstration that not enough people run for these offices when the ones who are don't remember which ones they've actually been elected for. So my apologies for being tardy this evening. So folks, we're here to transact the following business from the floor. We have 5 articles, which I will read in their entirety, and then we can move through each one. Pardon me. Article 1. To accept the reports of the district's officers for the preceding year as reported in the annual report. Article 2, to establish the annual salaries of the district officers as follows. A, moderator, $100. B, district clerk, $1,500. C, school directors, $2,000 each. And treasurer, $30,214. Article 3, to authorize the school board to borrow money in anticipation of tax revenues to meet current operating expenditures of the district during the 2026-2027 school year. Article 4 rather, to hold public informational hearing March 2nd, that's this evening, on articles to be voted upon by Australian ballot on March 3rd, 2026. And Article 5, to transact any other business found proper when met. So before we move on to the articles to be discussed, I would first entertain a motion from the floor to vote on each of these articles together, to vote on all 5 with one vote.
No move.
Thank you. We have a first. We have a second, please.
Second.
Thank you. We have a first and a second to vote on all 5 of these articles with a single vote. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion on the floor, which is to vote on all 5 articles at once, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? It passes. Very good. So now that we have authorized ourselves to vote on all of these at once, I would entertain a motion to accept these articles as read.
So moved.
Thank you. We have a first. Do we have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. So first and a second on the floor. Any discussion about approving these articles as read? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the articles as read, please signify by saying aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? Any abstentions? Very good. Thank you. So that passes. We passed those 5 articles. Now, following, the legal voters of Mount Anthony Union High School District Number 14 hereby warn further to meet on Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026, when the polls will be open to transact business by Australian ballot as follows. Article A, to elect from the legal voters of the district, 1 clerk for an unexpired term of 2 years, beginning July 1st, 2026, and 1 moderator for a term of 3 years, beginning July 1st, 2026. Article B, to elect school directors as indicated for such terms to begin immediately. The school board members to be elected are as follows. 1 who is a legal voter of the North Bennington Graded School District Incorporated, residing in North Bennington or Shaftesbury District 1 for a 3-year term. 2 who are legal voters of the SVUESD, residing in the town of Bennington for 3-year terms each. 1 who is a legal voter of the SVUESD, residing in the town of Pownell for a 2-year unexpired term. 1 who is a legal voter of the SVUESD, residing in the town of Pownell for a 1-year unexpired term. And 1 who is a legal voter in the SVUESD, residing in the town of Shaftesbury for a 3-year term. Finally, Article C, shall the voters of the school district approve the school board to expend $37,086,761, which is the amount the school board has determined to be necessary for the ensuing fiscal year. It is estimated that this proposed budget, if approved along with the approval of the Southwest Vermont Regional Technical School District budget, will result in per pupil educational spending of $12,255, which is 12.6% higher than the pupil education spending of the current year. And that was dated on the 21st of January, 2026. The following are the voting locations. Voting at the meeting on Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026 shall be at large by Australian ballot. The polls will be open as indicated below for each respective town. There will be separate polling places in each of the member districts of which the voter is a resident as follows. Residents who are legal voters from the town of Bennington vote at the Bennington Firehouse on River Street in Bennington, Vermont. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Residents who are the legal voters of the village of North Bennington vote at North Bennington Village Office in North Bennington, Vermont, when the office will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Residents who are legal voters from the town of Pownell vote at the Pownell Town Offices, 511 Center Street in Pownell, Vermont. Polls will be open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Residents who are legal voters from the town of Shaftesbury vote at the town garage, 526 North Road in Shaftesbury, Vermont. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And residents who are legal voters of the town of Woodford vote at the Woodford Town Hall, Route 9, Woodford, Vermont. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So as that concludes the posted agenda for tonight, I would ask, is there any motion to be brought from the floor?
I have a question, if I may.
I see Charlie Jingle from Bennington.
I live here in Bennington. Is it possible to ask some questions about the budget that is proposed?
I think if members of this board, or the superintendent or Director Gordon are prepared to answer those, I think we have time to make that happen.
Okay, if I may.
Please.
I'm just curious about a couple things, and I'm referring to pages that were on the document that was on the SVSU.org website. So one of the questions that I had was with regard to special education. So it's $3.4+ million for that. And what I wanted to find out was, it says later on that this is regarding assessments. Could you just tell me what that is, or how that works, what that process is?
Absolutely. Renee, you want to take first? Okay.
Sure. So the SVSU budget is built first, and all the member districts then have to essentially pay the SVSU, because the SVSU is not a taxing entity, whereas all the member school districts are. So to raise the funds to operate everything at the SU level, we take the expenditures at the SU, offsetting revenues, that could be fund balances, money that comes in from the AOE for special education. We have transportation aid, to name a couple. And then we allocate the remaining costs out by district, most of which are done on a proportional basis of weighted pupils per district. So we break out essentially that whole budget, and then the individual districts then pay the SU. So that's how the SU raises their money, is through assessments by their member districts.
Very good, thank you. One of the other questions that I had was regarding the difference between line items of attendance and social work services, which is $138,000. In line item 2135, mental health services and student support services. What are the differences between and amongst those three categories? I mean, there's a lot of money there, and I was just curious what's the difference between attendance and social work services, mental health services, and student support services?
So, Charlie, are you asking for the specifics of the type of, I guess, work done by those employees?
Yeah, I mean, if that can be done in 25 words or less for each of those categories.
So 2110 function is for attendance or social work services. Those costs are associated with licensed clinical social workers that are working at the school and or attendance. So if we have any truancy issues, we have a contract with the Bennington County Sheriff's Department. So costs associated with truancy end up there as well. 2135 is our mental health. So any school-based clinicians that we have are paid out of that function. And then 2190, other student supports. That's where all our behavior supports are. So behavior interventionists, board certified behavior analysts. And then we also do have some like after school supplemental programming that would be in that 2190 as well.
Thank you.
And then I would add that it is a significant number. And when talking to elected officials, I like to share that that is a cost that is increasingly picked up by schools in order to support our community partners like United Counseling Service, DCF, because the need is that great. And that is demonstrated by the state of Vermont that while we have fewer kids, the kids who have quite a need more levels of support. So in the short time I've been back in the district, we've increased the amount of FTEs or people that we hire to support that. So it's a very good observation that that cost is going up. And that is something that is not supported by a legislative initiative or funding from the state.
One last question. And this is in the section about total expenditures. I was just curious what the difference, if that's the right word, what the difference is between administration and office of principal. So administration is 1.68 million. Office of principal is 2.344 million. What's the difference?
So that is gonna be the SVSU assessment for essentially like the superintendent's office and everything that kind of encompasses under his umbrella. I think we also have our building operations department falls under administration. So that 2320 administration is really the SU, some of the SU costs. And the 2410 office of the principal would be the administration at both of the campuses. So the middle school and high school principals' offices, all of their support staff, the associate principals and.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And if you wouldn't mind, line 2660, security, it's over 600,000. What does security?
Those are all the campus safety officers. So there are four, I think there's 4 at the high school campus and 3 at the middle school campus.
Thank you.
So 7.
Thank you.
Any other folks have any business to be brought on the floor this evening? Very good. So we've exhausted our agenda. We've exhausted any floor business. So I would entertain a motion to adjourn, please. Thank you, Bruce. We have a second, please. Thank you. First and second, any discussion about adjourning? Hearing none. All those in favor of adjourning, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Sure. Very good. We're adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone. No problem.
One down.